Hey everybody, I am here today with Dean of Enrollment and Accessibility, Kila McCann, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we wrapped up the previous school year and also what we're looking ahead to in 24-25. So welcome.
Thank you.
How did last year wrap up?
Very strong, has been for the last 4 years. We enrolled 298 new students and had strong interest, so we had to say no a few times. Which is always heartbreaking, but we admitted some great kids coming in and are really excited to hear that the first 5 weeks have been joyful and good results.
Yeah, they are some welcome additions, wonderful additions to the school. Just to give people some context, we graduate 200 approximately every year. One of the things I'm most excited about at Bowles is our low rate of attrition.
Right.
We really excel in that category, and so congrats to the faculty and staff, all the coaches, everybody here at Bowles. We're doing a wonderful job of not only attracting the top students and athletes and artists to Bowles, but also then keeping them here, and they're willing to stay because the experience is so exceptional.
Exactly. So when we're running about a 4% or anywhere from 4 to 6% attrition, that's really strong nationwide. In fact, one of the strongest. But it also makes the admission team's job much
Really
easier because it means we have less seats to fill.
Right.
And so we're excited about that. That makes it really good for our part, but it also means we have to say no a little bit more than we're used to, which is not something we love. But it also means that we're able to be very selective in who sits in those seats. And that's a good thing for Bowles.
Right.
So, the retention of our students is key. And right now, what we're hearing is that our students are happy to be here and feel welcome and needed and known, and that's what we're hoping for.
That's fantastic. I mean, one of our points of emphasis this year is on belonging. Not that it hasn't been in the past, but we are really doubling down on that this year, and so I think it's paying off. I'm hearing the same thing. We want every student that comes to Bowles to be the best version of themselves.
And where do they fit and how do they fit, I think, is equally important.
Sure.
And are they going to find their people here, I think is also, I would also, one of my messages to new students to Bowles is always find your place and also don't be afraid to take a few healthy risks and leap off the ledge, because this should be a safe place to do that. So you might love football, but also try choir. Try those other things that maybe aren't as comfortable for you, because this is a really safe place to do that.
Right. And we also want to acknowledge the fact that finding your place, it takes a little bit of time sometimes. It is nice sometimes when you fall right into that group of friends or you fall right into that sport, but sometimes it doesn't. And some of the best experiences that I've had in life are some of the ones that if I had given up on them too soon, I would have missed out on some great opportunities. So to all of you that are out there, recognize that that's part of the learning and growth process. It is hard, but at the same time, the dividends and the end payoff are way higher.
Very rarely do we meet our best friend on the first day of school. Sure. So I think that's an important lens to look at it from. And I also think as we're supporting our new students, it's okay to say, it's okay.
Yeah,
you're going to be okay. You're going to make it through this.
Right, exactly. So looking ahead to the upcoming, you very rarely get a break in admissions. Admissions is a year-round process these days, as you remind me on a regular basis. So you've already started traveling. Your team's already started traveling. That process is beginning. What is that going to look like in the fall?
Yep. So we've already been to Arizona. We've been to New York. We've been to Massachusetts. We're headed back to Massachusetts on Wednesday. But we're also exploring some new countries this year. Serbia is one. We've had a strong interest from some partners in Serbia. Mark will be headed down to Brazil. We're headed to London and Germany, and I know many of you would love to go on some of these trips. Stay tuned. We may be able to make it work at some point, but you'll be in the admission office, so you're going to be an admission officer for that duration of time. But We're also headed many places nationally, and the interesting part is we're visiting schools, we're visiting with families, current families, alumni families. So we're really trying to get the word of Bowls out as best we can.
Right. It is an international brand, and that is really important for you to be out there on the road. What people don't realize is that when we go and visit some of these places like a Phoenix, yes, it might be a potential boarding student that is talking to us, but we're also seeing more and more and more families that are moving to Florida. So it's a potential day student as well. And we have learned that we need to be out there reaching out to people rather than just assuming that they're going to come to Bowls. Plenty of people come to Bowls because of our reputation, but we also want to be a place that is proactive, that is reaching out to find the best wherever they are around the world.
Yep. Yeah, we can't sit and wait for them to come, even though we've built it.
Yep.
We can't wait for them to come. So it's a great opportunity for us to also go out and meet potential partners. There are all sorts of folks like educational consultants who refer great students to schools like Bowls, and it's important to go and see them in their environment and their state or their country so that we can also get the cultural nuances that are associated with those families. So we feel like we're building strong partnerships that way too.
Well, and understanding those cultural nuances is another part of helping somebody feel like they belong.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So deadlines, all important deadlines.
Yes.
What are the non-negotiables? What can they not miss?
January 31st is the application deadline for financial aid and admission. That's a hard deadline. Anybody who comes in after that will be considered on an as-space availability. Then we will release offers of admission on March 5th, so we get to say, hopefully, mostly yays. And then they have 2 weeks to then accept our offer. So it's important for everybody to know they have choices, and they're weighing those choices carefully. And a big part of those choices and a deciding factor, we know, is all of you. So again, when we have visits and folks on campus, your engagement with those visiting families and students is fundamental to the decision process that they have to make on March 5th. If they feel welcome and they feel like you knew who they were and that they could be a part of your class or your, program, then that helps in the long run.
Right. Yeah. A lot of it is helping families and students be able to see themselves here. When it is a big leap for a student or a family to come visit a school. School change is unsettling. It's difficult regardless of where you're going. And so you guys are so helpful in terms of helping create that atmosphere where students feel like they can belong and they can envision themselves being successful. That is what we're looking for here. And success is you can see success in a lot of different ways. That's what's so exciting about a place like Bowls is there's not one definition. There's not one road to success at Bowls. There are hundreds, there's thousands, because every single student here has an individual road to success.
Yeah, one of the mantras that I live by is letting a student achieve their best success, whatever that might look like. And that doesn't always mean straight A's. It means some good grades, but it also means engagement and taking those healthy risks and trying new things and widening the perspective, I think, is also a part of that.
Yeah. And we know it pays off because we hear about it from our graduates that are talking about how well they prepared they are for college. And that's not just academically, that is socially, that is the ability to advocate for themselves with their advisor, switch classes. So well done, faculty and staff, for what you're doing out there. Well done to you and your team. I know it's a tremendous amount of work being on the road. It's hard to be away from families, but it does pay off. We're seeing it with the interest in Bowls. We're seeing it with our selectivity. We are seeing it with our happy students and families. So Thank you for all of that.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody for everything that you do and everything you will do, and for opening up your classrooms and welcoming our new families.
There you go. She couldn't have said it better than I did.